Hi. Welcome to lesson number 2. Evolution from traditional to new age media. The relevance and relationship between these two eras of media are essential for the 21st century learner to understand and appreciate. The journey and evolution from stone art, etching, and usage of metals in hunting to artificial intelligence. But first, what are paradigm shifts? Paradigm shifts are changes in framework of producing something and is brought about by many factors like users' needs, technology and availability of resources. Thus, changes in media are practically the same and different at the same time. But what does this imply? Is it true that we change depending on our needs? Need to communicate and to survive? Evolution from traditional to new media. In this lesson, we are going to tackle about the 4 main eras responsible to where we are today. Starting with the prehistoric age, industrial age, electronic age, and the information age. We are going to step back in time and understand how communication is important in different eras. Let's go back to thousands of years before when communication was primitive. The prehistoric age. Prehistory refers to the time before the existence of written or recorded history of, or existing in the time before people could write. Archaeologists believe that a system of writing had not yet existed during this era. This era is divided into 2 ages, the Stone and Metal Age. Primarily because of the main tool that was used in hunting equipment and household items. Prehistoric art is the earliest form of traditional media. Let's travel to Spain where prehistoric men drew on caves what they see around them such as animals and nature. In 1985, UNESCO declared the cave of Altamira in Spain as a World Heritage Site. It is also considered as the Sistine Chapel of quaternary art. During the Stone Age, prehistoric people also used these crude stone tools to create objects which are now considered as rock art. 2 kinds of rock art during the Stone Age which are petroglyphs and pictographs. Petroglyphs are engraving on caves while pictographs are phrases through images or symbols. Now let's travel to the Philippines. In the wondrous caves of Taban. This is the Taban Cave. Apart from the cave paintings, prehistoric men also created megalithic art. This involves the process of arranging or stacking together artistically the stones or big rocks for a certain purpose. Early forms of art also involves the use of pictographs to refer to sketches or paintings. These paintings usually depicts nature, giving us a glimpse of their lifestyle. These etches on cave became a very important part of our history as it was the only artistic remain we have from our ancestors. Excavated from the Taban caves in Palawan, the Manduang Gul jar is believed to have 2 figures on top of the handle that represents the entities that guides one's soul in the afterlife. Now let's go to England this time. Apart from the cave paintings, prehistoric men also created megalithic art. The Stonehenge, located at Salisbury Plains in England. The Stonehenge in England was believed to have been built for astronomical purposes but until this day remains a mystery. There is no concrete system of writing during the prehistoric age, so people communicated their way of life, beliefs, and other practices through these 2 concepts in which people utilized before to praise and worship their gods and goddesses. Dance and music as communication. Take for example the Kaneo dance, which is a tradition to the indigenous people of northern Luzon. This festive ceremony is held to celebrate good harvest and progress within the community. This dance is also performed in weddings and other important ceremonies for indigent families within their community. This culture is still being practiced today. It has been well preserved and valued by their descendants. Now let's travel a little bit earlier. The rise of industrialization. The Industrial Age. An industrial city pertains to a place where several factories are located or built. These factories hire people within the locality as laborers or skilled workers, thus making the city more productive in terms of gross and resources. The textile industry benefited greatly in the advent of Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Age manufactured different products, but primarily the following: textile, paper products, electronic parts, and chemical products. Hand tools versus power-driven machines. Skilled laborers were hired and trained to mass-produce items in this age. Thousands of workers were hired to be able to power steam engines. However, drastic changes were implemented, making machineries the main equipment in producing goods. Engines replaced human intervention in the workplace, eliminating a portion of the workforce, affecting the economy. It is also important to emphasize the contribution of William Cooke and Charles Wheatstone in communication. Communication during the Industrial Age also became viable because of the intervention of the telegraph. A telegraph is a system used for transmitting messages from a long distance along a wire. Communication in this age is also very revolutionary. This is Samuel Morse. He conceptualized a method used in communication by using a set of standardized sequences of codes using dots and dashes, called the Morse code. At this time we knew that communication will evolve into something more immersive, something more fast. The third era is the electronic age. But first, what is an electronic device? Electric or electronic refers to an object that has electronic components, such as sensors and microchips, which functions once it is connected. The industrial age will always be synonymous to its successor, which is the electronic age. These technologies, so-called embedded technology, wherein a microchip will allow an equipment to work on its own using electricity. However, these needed non-renewable resources. This era would be most known for the invention of telephones, computers and the television. Our modes of communication has advanced so much, starting from letters we drop on mail post, the invention of the radio, the traditional typewriter, talking through a telephone, taking photos using a camera, the television, then the computer, the internet, and the World Wide Web. That has led us to the modern era of information. Now let's return to modern day, where information is fuel. We now live in a social media driven world, and it has offered us a lot of advantages and has made our lives easier. This is the information age. Information is fuel. And gaining information plays a vital role in our society. It makes us more knowledgeable and enhances our understanding of the world. The information age has upgraded what it can offer to consumer in terms of connectivity and gadgets that can make their way of life not only comfortable but also functional. In the information age there are endless possibilities. Communication is easier, faster and cheaper. It has exceeded all our expectations in how we view the future. The information has introduced us the possibilities of text messaging or SMS, online transactions through digitization, cloud computing, and electronic mails. These technologies have made communication and storing information easier and more accessible to the 21st century learner. It has made transactions faster because of automation. Access to information is easier, faster and more means of communication for users. However, there will always be the downside. Users are being overly dependent to technology. Our privacy are at risk if not protected. And the software crisis 2.0. And that is the end of our lesson for evolution from traditional to new media part 1.